I need you to come to Miami and drive with me. If you do, they'll take off that anklet and they'll clear your entire record.
I did 3 years in jail. 3 years in jail over you, Brian. I know you better than you think.
Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't.
You guys finished?
This deal legit.
That's right. If you do this job for us.
Told you.
Shut up, punk. So you're gonna clean my record and get this thing off my ankle.
That's right. I thought you couldn't wander more than 100 yards from your home.
Why you think I'm parked so close to the Derby?
Man, quit playing like you're gonna pass this up.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Film Bros podcast. My name is Isaiah Lucas, and I am joined by my co-hosts,
Abraham
and Nick.
How are you guys doing tonight?
I'm tired.
I'm sweaty.
Yeah, it is hot here in the valley.
It is trash here,
We got like this huge heat wave that's coming through, so we're getting like 100 triple digit.
The back
like,
of my kneecaps right now, they're asking for something. I need some baby powder or something, man. It is
gotta
tough.
dry them up.
It's tough out here.
Yeah, it's triple digit weather, man. So we are trying to stay cool as much as we possibly can.
Mhm.
But I got to tell you, one of the things that we benefit from here living in the Central Valley of California is we do not have to deal with humidity.
Fact.
And I can only imagine the humidity plus the heat in the place that this movie takes place in that we're going to be talking about today, which is in Miami. Like,
Florida, yeah.
I think of like movies like Scarface, when you see like Al Pacino's character just like drenched in sweat like all the freaking time.
Like, yeah,
you know?
that's how it was.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I don't think I could.
Yeah. It's I don't know either. I hate the heat as it is. Like, it's just so uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I would much rather just be cold. And I don't know.
We've talked about this before. I don't get when people are like, I want the summer to be back. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
I get too sweaty. I'm just
110. I mean, that's like, it should be mandatory we all stay inside that day. No work, no sports, nothing.
Yeah.
Inside only.
Yeah.
Man. I'm hating my life.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah. All right, if we're doing good, let's talk about the movie that we talked about today.
Yeah.
I know we're talking about Abe's pick, which was
Too Fast, Too Furious, bruh. One of the greatest. Yeah, we're talking about Too Fast, Too Furious. It came out in 2003. It was directed by John Singleton and written by Gary Scott Thompson, Michael Brandon, and Derek Haas.
mm-hmm.
I want to say. Yeah.
Okay, from all the movies we've done of John Singleton, I don't think I've liked a single one.
You didn't like Boys in the Hood?
It's not that I didn't like it. I just thought, well, what
You
did
didn't
I
like
give
Four
that one?
Brothers?
I don't know.
I did not like Four Brothers.
I went back and listened to our The Fast and the Furious episode, which came out in 2021. And I'm surprised I gave the first one a 6.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
No. I didn't give it a 6. I gave it a 7.
I gave it a 6, I think.
I think I should have given it a 6. Okay. but I gave it a 7, and I was surprised I gave it a 7.
I can't remember what I'm thinking about Boys in the Hood now. I remember thinking it was just average.
Okay.
Not too crazy. But yeah, John Singleton, I don't think I'm...
A fan of him.
Yeah,
big
I don't
fan.
think so. I have not been able to get on the Singleton train.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of, like, I guess you could probably call them culturally relevant movies where, like, they're the talk of the town when they come out. And, like, you know, he did movies like Poetic Justice with Tupac and a movie like Boys in the Hood or the Too Fast, Too Furious movies, Four Brothers. He did another one with
Boys in the Hood. I gave it a 6.
I'm trying to remember. There's another movie he did with Tyrese. Is it called like Baby Boy or something like that?
There is a movie called The Baby Boy here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got Tyrese on the cover with like he's like on a bike. I forget.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No clue.
Yeah. He wrote it and directed it.
Yeah, he's done quite a bit. So can't talk too much trash about it because there are people out there that love it, but today
not
it gets
one of
put
them.
on the chopping block.
Yeah, I'm not one of them.
Yeah. So let's dive in a little bit here. First, I want to ask you, when was your first exposure with this movie?
I don't even know.
Because
I've watched this movie so many times.
Because I remember watching the Fast and the Furious when I was a kid when it came out. Because I remember my parents have it on DVD. They still have their original copy, and I remember seeing it and thinking it was so cool because I love to see cars racing and stuff. And then when the second one came out, I know my parents were like wary to let me watch it because it came out in 2003. So I was, probably like 6 or 7, like maybe around that age. And they were wary to let me see it because I think they saw an ad for it, and they saw like just like tons of girls in bikinis and stuff, and they were like, "We're not gonna let him watch that. There's no way. He's not old enough for that." And all this stuff. So I don't think I got to watch it until I was maybe in my like 12, 13 year age. I don't know.
I don't remember the first time I watched this. I want to say I've seen this movie at least 20 times.
Holy.
Yeah.
You've watched this one more than any of the other ones?
Yeah, I think so.
That's crazy.
And I think it's because I like more of the cars in this movie.
This is your Temple of Doom, man.
Yeah,
this is the dark horse.
It is. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like
the dark horse. This is your favorite of the ones, and everyone else thinks this one's the stinker.
Oh yeah.
Just like how Temple of Doom is my favorite Indiana Jones, and everyone else hates it.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. It's just like this one's so. It's just like, to me, it's more focused about driving, I guess. I don't know.
no, I even think the first one is more about driving than this one.
I would agree. I mean, it's very hard for me to remember anything that happens in the first one, let alone this one either. I watched this one today as my first experience with it. It's today.
Wow.
Yeah. Never, ever watched these movies.
That's crazy to me because seeing the intro with the Universal logo that like transitions into the rim and all that
That's so
stuff.
iconic.
Dude.
That's iconic to me.
I know
it?
it's in the times. It's just very. I just found it very cringy. What is going on?
What's going and it's going like at the hydraulics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, same
think
with
that's
the
cool.
with the neon like racing. Then it
Oh,
goes
yeah.
Too fast, too furious. I was like,
I found myself feeling the way you do whenever they hit the NOS. And
Yeah,
like,
the NOS
and
with
like,
its color.
Why,
like
dude?
space time starts bending.
why?
And
does it do
it's
that?
always whenever they hit it, they go, whoa.
They go,
Yeah.
and it looks like they're going at least Mach 2,
Yeah.
and
It's,
they're not. Like
yeah.
it blows my mind.
Yeah, definitely.
I remember the first one having stuff like that too.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't really expect anything more. Although I was very curious as to why the family man himself is not here, Dom Toretto. I thought for before coming into this, I thought he was in every single one. He was a staple character. He would never die. He was in every single one of them.
Nope.
And then to approach this one and not see him there, I was like, what the heck? Where's Dom? Where's Mia? Where's all these people at? They're all gone.
Gone. They stayed in L.A.
That is, it was wild to watch this movie and them not be in it.
Yeah, they stayed in L.A. while Brian sought
Dipped.
new adventures after selling everybody out.
New lovers.
Yeah, seriously. Even though, like, not really though.
They're not
like,
a
it's
lover.
like
that
it's
scene
kind
was
of just
so,
implied.
That scene was so shoehorned in.
Yeah, where
Do you
she
think-
just
she
he
just-
wakes up and and
was
then
like,
she's there.
What?
Yeah,
There's no love interest there. No.
yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, because all they really do is just like share some glances and then laugh at each other's jokes.
And that's it.
And then that guy is all, she's beautiful, isn't she?
Yes. That's it.
Yeah,
Oh, the Rizzler again.
yeah.
The Riddler.
Seriously. All right. Well, Abe, why don't you give us a little synopsis of Too Fast, Too Furious, a spoiler warning, and then we'll get into the categories here.
Basically, this movie is about the same character in the first one, Brian O'Connor, except he's in Miami, and he is offered a job to basically help the cops and clear his record.
Yep.
That's it, dude.
That's it.
Just to get a
That's-
clean slate.
Yep. Like he moves to Miami to start a new life, gets involved in street racing there again.
Gets
and
caught up.
Gets caught. They give him a chance to clean his record if he helps him with this top secret FBI investigation
U.S.
into a drug lord.
Customs, yeah.
And in exchange, they'll wipe his record alongside his buddy, who is played by Tyrese Gibson.
If you kind of think about it, though, it's kind of goated. Would you take up the offer?
Yeah, but that would never happen in real life, I don't think.
If an offer like that came up to you, would you take it?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't I? But again,
He has nothing else to live for. I mean, he either does it or
yeah, you either do
Goes to
that or
jail?
you go to jail.
yeah. So
Like-
immediately, especially with how much power they give him to, he's like, no, I don't want this guy. I want to choose the person I want.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, bro, you're just basically a cop.
Should I
now.
put in the Gallo 12 or 24
Yeah.
for my Skyline? I don't know. Pizza places made engines.
dude? He's basically a cop now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was a
without
cop.
badge.
He was a cop in the first one.
Now he's like a cop by force.
Yeah.
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 Whatever.
seriously.
It's be a cop or go to jail.
Pretty much.
Yeah. All
So
right.
yeah, that's basically it.
All right. Well, if you haven't seen Too Fast, Too Furious, it is currently streaming on Peacock. So if you have that streaming platform, then go ahead and log on and stream it on over there. If you don't have Peacock and you got a physical copy or something like that, pop it in, get a refresher. Or if you've never seen the movie, stream it, do something, rent it, whatever you got to do, and come back and hear what we have to say about Too Fast, Too Furious, because we will be talking about some spoilers. So, as always, we'll dive into our first category, which is going to start with our favorite scenes. Abe, you want to start us off?
Yeah, and I want to hit it with the opening. I think the opening's a goated scene.
Yeah,
The first race.
I'm here with you too.
I think it's it's iconic.
The Universal logo.
The
all
Universal
that.
logo, literally like the first 15 minutes is probably the best movie. And it's just so cool because, I mean, you get these three people about to race, and then you get to, first of all, when I saw that was a Supra, people are going to hate me, but I used to not like Supras by the way it looked like from this because of the Supra. Like Supras, I used to think Supras were ugly because of the gold one.
Oh,
It's
Oh,
slapjacks.
the fool that runs into the
it's
sign.
so
Okay.
ugly. Like the
Yeah.
one on the Fast and the Furious is the best one.
The orange one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with you.
and so you get to see that, and then you get to see Ludacris with the big old afro,
He's
bro.
got, yeah.
And basically, it's like, let me call my boy. You get to race and see Brian O'Connor, and you get to see one of the nicest car in the franchise, which is the Skyline GTR.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful car. And basically, yeah, he gets there and he's about to race.
Yep.
And they raise the stake up to 3,500 and race.
Yeah, freaking Brian calls him out too and was like, I won't race unless we up the stakes. And then the IM12 guy from Benchwarmers is like, no, we don't say nothing about raising the stakes. And he said, basically, he's like, are you scared? Like,
Or your pockets are empty.
yeah, or you don't got enough money to do that. And he's like, no, I'll do it. Yeah, I immediately laughed too when I recognized it was that guy from the
I didn't know it was
from
him, but now I
Benchwarmers.
realize
I didn't know
it.
that.
Yeah, I immediately saw him and I said, "That's the IM12 guy."
I did not know
from
that.
the Benchwarmers.
Seeing it now, it makes sense.
Yeah, I love this scene too. I just love, kind of like the whole like little subculture that they've got with the street racing stuff. I think Suki's car is fire.
The 2K.
the pink
Yeah.
2K. I love it. I think it looks sick. And also Brian's Skyline is just fire.
I'm a
It's
fan.
iconic
I
at
don't
this
mind the
point.
RX-7. I think the body on the RX-7 is nice.
That is the
What's his name's
the
car?
red
Red
one?
one?
Yeah, the red
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
That fool gets dusted. He's
Yeah,
a
he
little
does.
whimperton. He doesn't even do the ramp, man.
No, he doesn't.
Freaking loser.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, I think this scene is iconic too, and I like that it starts off with this because we immediately get put into action. We're immediately drawn in. We want to know what's going to happen, what goes on from here, right? I thought the racing sequences they're fun,
Mhm.
like to watch, but they are also so early 2000s.
Yes.
Where
Yeah.
like you see like the shaky cam like footage where it's like cutting in between each car, and the CGI it looks like PlayStation 2 cutscenes.
Yes.
like I as cringe as it is, I was enjoying my time with it, and I was like, man, this is so of the times. Like it has not aged the slightest bit. Like it hasn't done itself any justice.
No.
Like watching it now, but like yeah, this is so 2003. Like it's just so rooted in its time, and you could tell.
Yeah.
Like even down from like the music choices, the way people are dressed, the editing styles, and all that stuff. Like especially like when they're racing, and you hear like just this like house music playing in the background, like it all feels incredibly 2000s.
Mm-hmm. My favorite is when they're going like 130 miles an hour, and then you just see Paul Walker just going. You know what I mean? Like he's just like
Just stone faced.
stone faced. It just blows my mind. You would think that going incredible amounts of speed, you're like, you're in there, you're like moving, but he's just like, you know what I mean? Like he kind of looks like a stock character. It's so funny to me.
That's funny. I think it's funny too that whenever they like hit the NOS, that they're like bending space time.
Dude,
That like
when they-
like light streaks are going past them, and then like they're like I had said before, they're always surprised.
Mhm.
Like whenever they hit it, where they do it and they go whoa, and like get sucked back into their seat. Like it. I also always thought it was funny, like the noises that they like add in whenever they shift, where like they go to shift the car and it's like, and it's like. That is not how that sounds, bro.
No.
Like,
Dude, they shift like 10 times too. I'm like,
yeah,
How
I'm like,
many
how many times can you get into fourth or fifth gear?
that's what
Like,
I'm asking. I'm like, dude, what is happening? How many times are you shifting?
Yeah,
It's crazy. And then it's like, I hate it because they're going like 100 miles an hour and they're neck and neck, and then you just see him.
going.
He shifts it. He just like shifts it to a random gear, and then poof, I'm like, is that how it works?
I don't know.
I guess so.
in this universe, yeah.
In this universe.
And I don't think you
Unlimited
understand
gear shifts, dude.
because this movie set the precedent for what the Fast and the Furious franchise would later become. Like this was like the first movie that had the big stunt
yeah,
at the end
mhm.
and like the big action, all that stuff. And then when like the Fast and Furious 4 and 5 and 6 came around, then it was like, okay, we're upping the stakes every single time. We're just gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Like they should have just stopped it when they drag a safe across Rio, dude.
yeah,
See, I haven't watched that one.
I think that's 4, 5.
I'm telling you.
Oh
it's-
yeah, I only remember that one because freaking Dom Toretto goes, "This is Brazil." What do you? And like,
I remember, yes.
Yeah,
It's literally
dude.
there's a scene where the Rock comes into it.
Right? Isn't he like the brother or something?
yeah, that's later revealed.
What?
He's like Dom Toretto's long lost brother.
I don't know what the.
That's
Yeah.
written 9, I think.
I don't even know that.
Because I
Yeah.
watched. I think it's either 7. It's either 7 or 8. It's the one where they're in the car in the big old cargo plane.
Yeah, and you find out that like Dom watched his mom die, and that like this was his long
think that
lost
might have been
brother,
9.
like all this stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I've never seen After 6.
No, the brother is John Cena, isn't it?
Oh no, yeah, it is. It is John Cena.
John Cena's in the movie.
yes,
Yes,
he's
it
in
is
9
John Cena.
or
I
10.
remember. Yeah, no.
Who the heck does The Rock play?
His name is Hobbs.
Yeah, Hobbs
is
and
it-
Shaw.
Oh,
Remember that?
with
yeah.
Idris Elba.
Yeah.
So Hobbs he goes and he's looking for Brian, Mia, and Dom, and he comes up with like 5 people
In a favela.
and in a favela, and that's when Toretto goes, "This is Brazil," and everybody behind him
they
just
come
gets
out
like a gun
guns.
from anywhere and just
They all start pointing it at him.
at him.
Because he says that.
Yeah,
Well,
What?
It's like
because they come in like
300
trying to like press him out of the neighborhood, and he goes, "I don't think you understand where you are. This is Brazil." And then everyone goes, and they all pull out their guns and
Oh
are pointing it at him and all this stuff. Yeah,
come on, boss. It's too hot.
yeah.
Now I'm determined to find out who is Hobbs
I
to
don't
the
know.
Toretto.
He's the
family.
fool who can hold a helicopter and tie it to a truck.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, because I'm not joking. From this point on in the film franchise, things just get crazier. Like you
Mhm.
said, the safe being towed across Rio by cars. And I think it was in like 5 or 6, they straight up bring like a cargo plane down off the runway. Like it's
I think it's
taking
6.
off.
I think
And
it's 6.
they bring it out of the sky with their cars.
Yeah, 'cause it's 6 because that's when Post Malone released Candy Paint.
Yeah.
And bro, Candy Paint took me out by storm too.
Candy paint with the white on.
I know that song.
that song.
That is, yeah, that took over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 6. And that's
yeah.
the last one I saw because it was in England or something like that.
Yeah,
Oh
something.
yeah, we've spoiled it. Sorry about it.
Yeah, sorry if you've never seen any of the Fast
I
and
couldn't
Furious.
tell you, man. I stopped watching them too.
I'm telling you, after 6 I stopped.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even know John Cena was in it.
Isn't 10 Brie Larson is in it?
I have no clue. Fast X or whatever.
Yeah, I think Brie Larson is in it.
That
And they go to space for real.
do
What?
they know?
I
Do
swear.
they?
I swear.
No,
I'm being
bro.
serious. I'm being serious. I think at 10 they go to space. Dead serious.
Like with
Listen.
their cars? Oh no,
Yes, they-
it's Jason Momoa.
they launch a car into space.
Brie Larson, yeah, she's on there.
You people, if you like Fast and Furious, just stop watching it.
Yeah, they got to stop being
Just
made
They must
stop.
be
at
doing
one-
something
at
right.
one point.
What's the movie with the longest sequels?
couldn't
My
tell
immediate
ya.
mind is Harry Potter. I think it has like 9.
Not anymore. Look, Fast
Well,
and
yeah,
Furious.
now this one. Well, how much? Because
Yeah.
don't they have? Isn't it like 9?
So, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
The movie with the longest sequels. That's insane. I don't know. I've never thought of that.
Yeah, it might be Fast and Furious.
I
man.
think it's Fast and Furious. They've got the title.
Yeah, they literally put a number after each one.
Too Fast. Well,
Fast 10.
is it Tokyo Drift? Is that? Does it have
Tokyo
3?
Drift is the only one that doesn't have a number in the title. Or no, because then 4 is Fast and Furious. It's not the Fast and the Furious. It's
Oh,
Fast and Furious.
they just take out
They
those.
just take out the "thes." Yeah, we're getting way too deep in the lore here.
Yes.
But yeah, that whole intro scene, the whole intro race, I agree, Abe. It is one of my favorite scenes as well. It's a fun watch. I also was kind of surprised whenever Tej, Ludacris's character, brings out what the surprise is, and he's like, "I told you I had a surprise," and these guys like straight up break and enter into a drawbridge, and make the drawbridge go
yeah.
up so that way they have to jump the cars, and I was laughing too because he was like,
Star
he
Wars.
says-
Mm-mm.
Star Wars has 9.
12
No.
films. It says
No.
on this list.
If you're including like all the offshoots, like the
The longest one is Carry On with 31 films from 1958 to 1952. It's a British company film. They have 31 movies.
52.
1958.
Oh,
to
92, 92.
I was like,
From 1958 to 1992,
Yeah.
they made films. That's crazy.
31 films.
That's wild. But yeah, the surprise basically is that Tej is making the racers jump their cars.
yes.
And I was
ruin it, sorry.
and I was laughing because he like in any real situation, if you jump your car and it slams down onto the concrete, it's doing tons of damage to the car.
Your engine's
like,
falling out.
Like it's doing like your car's not going to be drivable. And I was laughing because he was like, "I told y'all I got a surprise," and I was like, we're going to damage their cars so bad they're not going to be able to drive them anymore, or they're going to use all the winnings they won from this race to try to fix it. Like,
Dude,
and then-
Suki's car gets jacked up.
yeah,
The
it
whole
does.
front bumper comes off.
Yeah, well, even this the Supra, like its whole like
The whole
driving column, like
you could literally see it. Yeah,
falls
it
into the
falls
ground
down,
and
like,
starts just like tearing up all the concrete.
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I thought that whole That whole situation was wild.
That's
and
a
then-
big bro moment for that one.
yeah. But Brian jumping over the Supra, like him hitting the
That
NOS
was
at the
pretty
same
sick.
time and
going,
jumping
like,
over him.
To
And then like, it's showing a POV of the guy like in his car and him seeing just the underside of the car go over him was wild too.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah. And then Brian coming in and like power slide into the crowd, winning the race. And then the police chase happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With the we want to talk about that? Kind of hits a bro moment for me with that. Like, what would you even call that rocket launcher type thing?
It's like I
don't
feel like
know.
it's like some type of EMP.
Yeah, I said it's an
But even then,
EMP
it's like
rocket launcher.
But even then it's like a grappling hook type gun. Like
Yeah, I don't know.
It just shoots like a little like trident thing.
I have no clue, and it's supposed to like jack with your.
Disable the guitar. The
but how-
car. I don't know.
Do you need electron? Well, is it?
Yeah,
Your battery.
No,
Oh, that's
you have
true.
computers and
And
like,
yeah,
sensors in your car.
I was just thinking like if combustion was happening, like if you had the gas down, and then you got hit by one of those, because they would like slowly stop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering what makes it turn in there.
Yeah, I don't know.
But they got it, man.
Gen
Living in
Z.
2024 with this technology.
Yeah, seriously. But that's it for that favorite scene for me.
Yeah, that's it for that paper scene.
Okay. What do we got next?
I don't know how far this is down, but when they get the other cars from
Yeah,
the dude.
That's my next one.
Is it your next
Racing
one?
for the pink slips when they're going around the barrel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, it actually was having me bite my fingers.
Yeah.
'Cause
They do a good job.
They really do. It's like a relay type thing where they go down quite a ways. They do like go around that bucket and they go back, and then the next person go. And if whoever gets there first gets the cars.
Yeah.
It's low key like I wish I could do something like that, like for fun.
Yeah.
That's insane. And freaking, they are already like disadvantaged heavily. I don't know what those cars are, but they said they got them beat.
Yeah, they're American Muscle.
With a Challenger,
It was
and
I think a Mustang.
I think a Mustang.
But that Hemi
That Challenger.
that the Challenger starts off with, Brian pulls Rome aside and is like, he's pushing 425 horsepower
That's insane.
under that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't have a shot. We're gonna have to try to come up with something. And I'm laughing too at the beginning of that scene too, because Rome is sitting there trying to like talk all this crap and saying he's gonna win and all this stuff, and then hearing that Hemi rev its engine and just how monstrous it sounds versus like the Mitsubishi Spider that Rome is
Eclipse?
driving.
Oh, dude, I hate that Eclipse.
The comparison to the engine sounds, and then you see whenever he revs it, Rome like is smiling and he just loses his smile real quick
Well, because he realized
because of how powerful it sounds. He's just like, oh crap,
Mm-hmm.
what am I getting myself into right now?
He gets dusted too.
He does
Well, there's kind of like some trickery involved though.
a little bit.
What does
yeah.
he do? He he hits the sign.
Yeah,
Well,
and the
'cause he-
sign comes and hits him and spins him out a little
Yeah.
bit,
yeah,
which is crazy. And then I love this scene too. It's just like Brian's character to head on collision with this guy, and he's not backing down. Like
No.
he's got balls of steel.
yeah.
honestly.
Seriously,
And that's I was thinking to myself, when they show the camera angles of them going around the barrel, like they are miles behind. I was like, how the heck is he going to make up all the distance?
Mm-hmm.
And I like that they really played into it rather than him just nosing it and, is he gonna make it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
No, he like chickens him. He spins out and he's able to gain the.
yeah. The guy's engine even stalls out because
Yeah.
because of how he freaking spins out,
Mm-hmm.
Do
and
you
then he's able to catch up that way.
do you think you would how close do you think you can get?
I don't know, man. They're going like 80 miles an hour at least
Towards one another.
towards one another. Like that's you're dead.
Yeah,
You're
dead if
literally
you crash.
obliterated, right?
You're-
Obliterate.
yeah,
Like,
seriously.
I can't think of. I mean, that's a lot of force.
Yeah, seriously. To go 80 miles an hour and then come to a halt, like an immediate halt,
Yeah,
I think you're dying.
I'd be chickening out for sure.
yeah.
Early.
Yeah, I even thought the same thing too whenever they crash into the boat and like none of the airbags go off or nothing in those cars.
They probably didn't have airbags.
Like the only thing that Rome says is my arm's broken.
He goes,
I'm like,
"I
dude,
think my arm broken.
there's not just your arm broken, your ribs are broken.
Yeah.
You got
Legs
like
even.
legs, all that stuff. And then Brian just walks out of his like no scratches.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, that whole scene is is great. They really do a good job of making you sit on the edge of your seat and
Mhm.
wondering if whether or not they're actually going to win this race. And they end up pulling it out by the skin of their teeth.
Mhm.
And I was laughing so hard whenever they take their cars. And the guys are like standing in the middle of the road, and that guy with the glasses on, that guy with the glasses on at nighttime, and like the sweatbands on his
Fabio?
on his like forearms. He's like standing there looking down, and then his girl behind him is hugging him from behind, and he just looks like so dramatic, like
Sad.
Defeated.
yeah. And I was laughing so hard at him and the way he was standing.
They tell him to use the bus tokens to get home.
Yeah.
Wild.
But yeah, that all plays into the ultimate plan for the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever we find out ultimately what they're planning to do with getting this whole drug money thing situated and all that stuff. But yeah, from there, my next favorite scene is the bucket rat scene.
Oh, that
You
one's
like
pretty
that scene?
tough.
I do.
It's a bro moment for me.
It's like ingrained in my mind. Like I don't know why. I remember seeing that scene pretty young, I think, and just being like, "Oh, dude, I couldn't imagine that."
Mhm.
Like
I mean, I
a-
can't imagine
a
either.
rat trying to like barrow its way into my stomach because it can't handle the heat of the bucket.
Mhm.
You know? Yeah. I remember seeing that and just being like, "What the hell?" And then this is also crazy too. This is like the only Fast and Furious movie I'm aware of that like takes that dark of a turn, where like there's a torture scene. Like
Yeah.
I don't know any other ones that go that deep.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you.
But yeah, I remember like maybe I'm like a little emotionally scarred by this by the scene. That's why I remember it so well.
Do we need to talk about it?
I might, dude. I was always scared of rats, dude, so who knows. But
Let me get a rat in a bucket real quick. See if that.
yeah, dude, I'm a fight. Make sure I don't I
Did
get
you
out of there.
squeal?
I might squeal like that guy, dude, and start
Mhm.
giving them what they want. But basically, what happens is, the guys are getting in with the villain of this story, whose name is Carter Verone, who is played by Cole Hauser, and he basically tells them like, "Hey, I want to meet with you guys. Let's meet at this club at midnight, and we'll speak with one another." And before they decide to go to that club, they race for pink slips. And then after they race for the pink slips, they go to the club to meet this guy and talk to him, whatever he's wanting to do, right? So they go, and I think in this scene is one of your favorite quotes you had mentioned whenever they walk into the club, and Rome says,
Yes.
Rome says something.
He says, "Man, it's a oasis in here." And I was like, that's so creative.
Yeah.
It's so good. Because you see all these women with bikinis on or
Yeah.
like real skimpy outfits. And he's like, it's a oasis.
Yeah, I was dying laughing at that too. But they are, perusing around the club, drinking. Brian is talking to the woman of this story, who's played by Eva Mendes,
Mhm.
and they eventually find out that Carter is in the back in the VIP area waiting to talk to them, and he sees Brian smoozing on his girl a little bit. So they calls him over, they have him sit down, and they have this cop come over too as well. And while they're all sitting there in the VIP area, Carter kind of presses Brian and tells him like,
She's so beautiful.
"She's beautiful, isn't she?" And he just goes, "Yeah."
Balls. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah. And they eventually make their way to this like back room where there's this like steel bucket and a torch on the table. And you're like, what is this? I don't know what's going on here, right? And they bring this cop back here who we find out is Crooked, that Carter is
He's a detective, right?
Yeah, he's a detective, and Carter is paying this guy to be Crooked and to give him insider information and all this stuff. And one of the things that Carter needs for this job to go down is a 15-minute window where no cops will, trace any of his people so that way they can make this exchange of money and all this stuff, right? And so he gets this Crooked cop into the back room, and he basically wants the Crooked cop to verify that he can get him some of the time. Man, it's popping up.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
There's fireworks, I think.
Yeah. We're close to 4th of July.
Yeah.
That was way too many for fireworks in a row.
I heard that many like late at night, and I was told it was fireworks.
It's the Toretto family coming to get us.
Who knows?
It's all the John Singleton lovers coming to shoot me.
Yeah, they're like,
You just don't get it. That's what it is.
Yeah, but essentially this crooked cop starts getting pressed, and they lay this guy out on the table and are forcing him into getting this like 15-minute window of no cops. And he's, telling them it can't be done. I can't do it. I'm sorry. And they start torturing this guy, and they bring out this rat and this steel bucket and the torch. And he's like,
Dinner time.
basically Carter tells him, like, you want to know what's interesting about this rat is they'll do anything to get out of the bucket to escape. And if they can't get out of the steel, like they've been known to like chew through steel pipes.
Mm.
If they can't get out of the bucket, then their only choice is to go down to escape the heat.
Through the
And
skin.
like the screaming shouldn't scare you. It's when it goes quiet is when
That's
it
when you know
starts to
it's-
go to work. Yeah, and it's trying to like barrow its way into your stomach, right?
Describing it makes me uncomfortable now.
Yeah.
Thinking about watching it didn't make me uncomfortable, but describing it now makes me uncomfortable.
There are
Yeah.
several movies that do this.
Really?
Yeah, there are more.
Okay.
I have seen this type of torture happen.
Okay. So they start torturing this guy. He eventually, gives in and lets them know that, he can get it for them. And all the while that's happening, he's making sure that Brian and Rome are watching the torture take place, so that way, like, they kind of know he has power in this situation, right? And then once he's done, he gets up and lets the guy go, and everyone kind of leaves, and they're kind of like, okay, we got to make sure we do what this guy says, because if not, he's crazy. He's going to torture us, right?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just remember this scene just being so ingrained in my head, and when I think of Too Fast, Too Furious, this is one of the scenes that I think about. So,
That's insane, actually.
yeah.
Big man with the rat.
Yep. All right, from there, what do we got?
My next favorite scene is the scramble.
Okay. Yeah,
This is pretty much the ending.
Yeah, this is just the final job, just the
Yeah.
whole ending for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, honestly, it starts at the scramble.
Okay.
But I wanted to know because this is like one of my favorite scenes from this movie. I think this is my favorite scene from the movie. What you guys thought about the scramble?
It's interesting. It's definitely a smart idea.
It is.
For sure. Like,
Yeah.
it's whenever you watch it for the first time, you think that they stay in the same car.
Yeah.
And then they throw you for a loop when you find out that, like, Tej and Suki are driving their cars, and then they get into the Challenger and the Mustang, and then, make their way separate, and they break off. And so that way, the police totally get thrown for a loop, and they're looking for somebody else, or they think they're looking for those people when they end up, chasing a rabbit.
Right.
So
I thought it was smart.
yeah, definitely.
But it's literally my favorite scene because, one, you see so many wild cars. One, I would love to be a part of this. I feel like it'd be sick. And then 3 is just wild.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so much is happening.
Yeah.
And so
How about when those trucks come and freaking ram those cop cars?
they gotta do what they gotta do?
Yeah, they just push them all out the way. It's crazy.
It's pretty smart.
But also, how could that many cars fit in that garage?
There
It's
was
pretty big. There's like at least
300. Yeah, 200 or 300.
There's a lot.
There's so
Like,
many cars.
When you see them all pull out, I'm like, this thing has got to be gargantuan. Like,
Yes.
there's no way all these cars are sitting in there with the doors closed, engines on, running, and no one died of carbon monoxide
That's
poisoning.
true. That's true.
And how the hell is it so not loud?
Yeah, true.
They were all just sitting there in their cars waiting.
No, they probably could have turned them off.
And also, like, what are the logistics? Like, how do they? Because they drive in head first, right?
They had to have backed in.
Unless there's a back way,
I don't know.
because it doesn't really show us.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I mean, what would that even be used for? And how do they, like, it is literally vacant. There's
Yeah.
nothing there.
Honestly,
I don't know. Maybe they just
For-
broke in because, I mean, they did the same thing with the drawbridge. They just
yeah, honestly.
popped
that's
the lock
true.
off the thing.
That is true.
But Tez takes him there
When?
when
Didn't you ask him, like, hey, when can you be ready or something like that?
Yeah.
Or-
I don't know.
I remember
I
him
don't
saying, like, how fast can you get ready, or I don't remember the exact quote, but I think he's thinking of like how fast can you get your cars there or your buddies to go there.
Yeah, honestly, how the heck do you know so many people?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
You're a popular guy.
Yeah, seriously.
I didn't even think about that.
But yeah, from there, what happens?
From there, so they split up. They are ending up in 2 different cars, like we said, the Hemi and the Mustang. And this is probably one of the famous quotes ever. You get Tyrese Gibson in his car with his partner, and Brian in his car with his partner, and they're supposed to go meet at this like bridge, or like this
Airstrip.
this airstrip.
That's what the original plan was.
Was the original plan, but after what they do, or after what Tej does, not Tej, Rome does, they're supposed to meet here.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically, there's a scene where they get told if they have an extra half-empty bottles of NOS, but even though those cars already have NOS, they're like, we're going to have some extra cargo. And what we didn't know is they were going to dump a body, and they said, ejectocito, cuz, and launch that fool in the air.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the best scenes ever.
It's not in the air. It's like
They,
sideways.
they freaking shoot him out the side of the car.
Dude,
so like he's flying either into the river or like into some metal, and like getting messed up.
Yes, I was surprised that the door came off, and
Oh,
it was
yeah.
the way it was that way the entire movie.
Yeah,
Funny, wild.
Crazy.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then from there, they end up recognizing that the plan has then been changed. Right, that the drop-off location is no longer this airstrip.
it's on a boat.
And they have to go to this like docking area, and they're gonna get on this yacht and take the money and go do what they need to do. And so everybody like then decides, okay, now last minute thing, we're gonna divert and go down to this dock, and they do the exchange. They pull out all the money. They give it to Carter. And then Carter flips on him and is like, all right, now I'm killing you guys, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole action sequence takes place where Brian starts fighting the guy that, you know, he was once partners with, and, you know, he's trying not to get shot.
Mm.
And then,
Homie bites him.
yeah, they, like, it's just insane. And then all of a sudden, Rome comes out of nowhere and, like, smashes a car to kind of help him out. And then, you know, they pull each other out of the vehicle. They start fighting and just going in on one another. And meanwhile, that's all happening. The yacht that is carrying all this money is now getting away. And also, Carter is taking Eva Mendez's character, who is also an undercover cop.
I think he figures out at this point.
Yeah, and he, you know, puts her onto the yacht with the intention to probably take her out as well.
Yeah.
And Brian O'Connor gets the bright idea to do what Rome calls some Dukes of Hazzard type stuff. And while they're, you know, watching that yacht drive by, they're flying down this road in the Mustang, and they hit this like dock type thing. It looks like a ramp. Like, I don't know what it is actually in the wild,
I don't know.
but they hit this thing and they somehow jump the car onto the yacht and land it to where they can like get onto the yacht and get out and then take this guy down and then call all their, you know, FBI, customs, cop friends to come get this guy. And it's insane. Like, the actual action and like spectacle of it all is pretty wild to see. And it actually does look real, the way that they land this car on there.
I think it is.
It looks that way.
Yeah.
Which makes it believable in that aspect still. Like, if this had been CGI with the way that, with the way that they did CGI previously in the film, I just think it would probably make the movie so much more laughable.
It would.
Yeah.
It wouldn't do justice.
Yeah. But then from there, you know, bad guy goes away. You know, our characters get away, you know, get to have their records clean. They leave with some money. It's like one of my favorite things.
One of my favorite things when they say that.
When they walk away and
It's like,
he goes,
we ain't hungry.
pockets ain't empty, cuh. And you know, he lifts his shirt up and he's like got his waistband lined with freaking racks. Like, it's
How
super
much
funny.
do you think is in a rack? How much was in a bundle, you think?
Probably 10K.
Yeah, probably.
I think
something like
10K.
that. Yeah.
And he had a good amount, bro.
At least 10 of them.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't show too, but Brian also says that his pockets aren't empty.
Yeah.
So
At least.
who knows how much
200K.
they actually took from the pot.
True.
But yeah, after that's Too Fast, Too Furious.
That's Too Fast, Too Furious.
That's it.
Yep. All right. If that's it for our favorite scenes, let's get into the best quotes. Obviously, the first one being, I said, forget about it, cuh.
Dude, I said forget about it, cuh.
That really caught me off guard when he said that. When Brian, of all people, says that.
Dude, he's a Latino.
Yeah.
at
He's a
heart.
Latino at heart.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I was laughing, too. I saw a meme where they were, like, talking about the way that he says, I said, forget about it, cuh. They were like, you know, the director told this guy not to say it, and every time they went to shoot it, he just kept doing it.
Bruh.
My question is, how does this not have a license plate? You know, a plaque around the license
Tuna
plate.
no
but
crust?
Tuna no crust.
Tuna
does?
no crust does, but I said forget about it, cuh doesn't. I don't know.
I could. They're both iconic.
Nah, I feel like
Yeah.
Ejectocito is more iconic than I forget about it, cuh.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And
And
that-
even
that-
maybe the tuna one.
Or pockets ain't empty.
No.
Pockets ain't empty, cuh.
I like it, though. I'm going to start saying that, though. I'm going
Yeah.
to Parker Tain empty, cuh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
There really isn't much big ones besides the ones that we already said.
The Oasis.
Oasis.
What about
Ejectocito.
the scene whenever the bodyguards go to Brian's houseboat?
Oh my gosh.
And that's when we find out that like
Oh,
somehow
yeah.
he's like sleeping with the girl.
No,
like-
I don't know how she got there.
Yeah, I don't either.
She
She was
looked
going-
wet.
She
Yeah,
was going
like,
to
it's-
warn
I think-
him.
No, I think it's implied that they slept together and she like somehow showered or something. 'Cause
Really?
She's got wet hair. Like
I think she
No.
like swam up to the boat or something.
I don't know. I don't know how she gets there or why she's wet.
I don't know
It
either.
doesn't tell you. But she is there, and she basically tells him, like, hey, these guys are coming to kill you. And,
You're gonna get shot.
like, you need to do everything you can to, like, get out of here, basically. And these guys roll up, and so does Rome. And he comes outside and, like, kind of stalls the guys. And I remember laughing at this, like, the first time I watched it. But he just starts, like, roasting him. And, like... like goes outside and is, you know, telling them all this stuff. And one of the favorite quotes that I have is whenever he's talking to one of the bodyguards, he says, I know he's paying you guys well. Man, if I had all that money that you guys would be making, I'd get that mole removed off my damn nose.
He says, he goes, bro, I'm paying y'all to keep your straight face like that? Because if I was making money, shoot, I'd get that mole removed off my dang
He
nose.
savages him.
Yeah.
And it's a
the
big,
guy's
it's
just
a
sitting there
big
like,
mole.
Yeah. I was dying laughing at that.
I busted up.
Yeah. Another one for me is whenever what's his name, Carter, is getting arrested and put away, he's like staring down Rome and Brian, and Rome looks at him and says, "Don't drop the soap, big homie," or something like that. And then you know, Brian starts laughing, and he says he's gonna come for you whenever he gets out. And
He's
then
like,
Rome's
"He
like,
ain't."
he ain't getting out, and he says, he's gonna get out. and then,
He's
and
like-
then Rome's like, you really think he's gonna get out though?
He was like scared.
starts to get
Yeah, he
scared.
has
a
yet
little
to get
bit.
out.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Oh, don't give him ideas. That's a brand new movie right there.
Yeah,
Barone's back.
yeah,
Hate that.
yeah. Make him more intimidating the next time around. if
Well,
you
he
do
is
it.
more intimidating, dude. That have you seen him in freaking Yellowstone?
Yeah, that's Rip Walker now, or what's his last name? I don't know. Rip. I
That's
just know his
Rip.
name's the Rip. I don't know. So for some reason, every middle-aged woman has a crush on that man.
Yeah, but
Really?
Like only whenever he's cosplaying as a cowboy. Whenever he's like just himself, they're like, "Oh, he's ugly now. He needs to have a beard and a cowboy hat and wear a black jacket and cowboy boots."
We like him.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, "Oh, he's so sexy." Oh, yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
So
it.
that's
though.
it for quotes.
Yeah, I've got nothing.
Yeah, same here.
Any bro moments? I feel like
yeah.
there's a bunch.
What about Brian getting rocked by Rome when they first meet up?
Dude, he did take that punch.
He got rocked. And like he kind of calls it too, where he tells Bilkins like, "Hey, whatever happens next, just let it go, man.
Mhm.
Don't say nothing, don't do nothing." And
He-
they end up fighting.
Mhm.
Like wrestling around on the sand.
Honestly though, to me it's like brothers, dude.
He does. It kind of doesn't look like they're really doing much damage to each other.
Yeah, they're just
No.
rolling around on the floor.
Yeah, and even he says too, like, you still suck at fighting.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was a bro moment. That Demolition Derby was
Oh,
a bro
yeah.
moment.
Dude, that'd be
He's
fun to
really-
watch, man.
Those are
know.
sick. Those are fun.
I would love to see Demolition Derby. I would love to be in a Demolition Derby.
You would be walking funny
like-
after.
It's like bumper cars, but like
Times.
adult.
Yeah,
That's tough.
That's fun.
yeah.
I said cop with the rocket EMP. What about the dude who gets freaking destroyed by the semi?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, the Saline Mustang.
Yeah, I put down the red Mustang for real died the most gruesome death.
He died, right?
Yeah,
to
he
have.
had to die. There's no
Had
way he
to have.
survived.
Those
Had to have.
semis are savage.
And they kept
Yeah.
on going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Brian doing the stare and drive?
I
wanna learn that.
gosh. What do you
So
mean learn it?
So it's kind of cold. It's kind of fire.
What do you mean? Like, how do you learn? Do you just know where you're driving?
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially he's got to know where you're driving.
Yeah.
And he's going like 100.
Yeah, he's going fast.
Why you say 100 like that, bro?
He's going 100
Yeah.
miles an hour.
Yeah, seriously. What about whenever they're doing the like audition heist thing where
Dude.
they have to
That it's a freaking cigar.
Yeah, but also like whenever they're on their way to the shipyard, Brian and Rome roll through this neighborhood and it's like got this like reggae music playing and there's
Lil
people on the
Haiti,
corner.
Lil Haiti.
Yeah, they roll through there and one guy's crossing the street and as he's crossing the street, they go by him on both sides and when they go by him, all you hear in the background is Bombaclat! Like super loud. And I freaking died laughing at that.
Say it again slowly.
No, you do it.
I don't know how. I'm trying to say it, but I don't.
Bumbaclat?
That sounds so familiar.
That's like a
Bumbaclat.
it's like a stereotypical Jamaican thing.
Oh, is
Bumba.
Anytime I think of like someone speaking patois, I think of like Drake trying to do it for some
it?
reason.
Was he doing
Oh
that?
yeah, we shouldn't be saying that, by the way.
What? Why?
It's Jamaican slang equivalent to douchebag or MFer.
Oh, Bumbaclat? Oh,
Didn't know.
well, I never knew that. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
okay, my bro moment is when they get caught by the cops and immediately freaking Rome just goes,
Dude, yes.
He straight up
Dude.
said, I ain't going to jail again.
Dude,
nowhere.
out of nowhere with this coldest face too. Like he comes out and is just all
Like he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
I was laughing. I was like, "That's your response? Your response is to be like, let's shoot these guys." Like, insane.
These are the guys you're working for.
Yeah,
That was wild for me.
it was wild for sure. Another bro moment for me. Rome setting those dudes' windshield on fire.
yeah.
When
That's
like
so
when
funny.
when he recognizes that they're being tailed and he goes over like he's about to wash their car
Mhm.
and he like pops up out of nowhere and starts spraying it, acting like they're washing it, and then he throws a lighter on there and sets it
Dude.
on fire.
What he says when he pops up makes me laugh all the time.
I forget what he says.
I
He says like uno, dos.
Oh no, dos Chris. But when he pops up, he goes, "Hola," and says, a slur.
Oh yeah. He does.
I can't say that slur.
Yeah,
And bro, it's so funny.
yeah. He starts going uno, dos, tres, forto. He says forto instead of cuatro.
Does he really?
Yeah, and he just starts, trying to say he's speaking Spanish, and then sets the windshield on fire. But the last bro moment for me is the mechanic rapping,
What was that?
dude.
What was that about?
It was cringe. It was cringe, is what it was. They're like playing.
That's
poker.
when they're playing the cards,
When they're
right?
playing poker, and he just starts rapping, like freestyling out of nowhere, and it's
What did he say?
so cringe.
I can't remember what he says.
I'm about to
He's
switch
like-
up the cars.
Yeah, he's like, the mechanic is paid. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's cringe.
And he goes, I'm about to take a garage.
Yeah, it's
I wish it was on this. I can't find it.
it's cringe. That's for sure. That's the
Yeah.
last bro moment for me.
Last one for me was just the car jumping onto the boat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was my bro moment because I would love to watch that happen.
Oh yeah. That'd be wild. Yeah.
Imagine just chilling and you see.
Something flying through the sky, and then you realize it's a Mustang. Yeah. All right. That's it for the bro moments. Let's move into facts with the bros.
Yeah, let me hit you with the budget real quick. which to me actually caught me by surprise. To make this was $76 million. Opening weekend, it made $50.4 million.
Wow.
Gross for U.S. and Canada made $127.1 million, and gross worldwide made $236.3 million.
That's why they make these things,
Yeah,
man.
doesn't surprise me at all.
Yep,
They
that's
know
why
what
they
they're
keep
doing.
making them.
You got girls, cars.
What else could you want?
That's it.
Bad writing.
Yeah.
Writing you don't have to think too hard about. You can just sit in the seat and be entertained, you know?
Yeah, just
Man, Lee
entertain.
Johnson go to no, he didn't even write this.
He didn't
movie.
even write it.
Dude.
These other guys did.
Yeah.
Come on, Gary Scott Thompson.
Yeah. The first one that I have, actually, I thought this was pretty interesting because I've heard this long-running myth that like Paul Walker is much more involved with the Fast and Furious franchise than he really is. But this fact kind of goes against the grain there in saying that, like, I guess there's a popular myth where the Nissan Skyline GTR that is shown in the beginning of the movie was rumored to be Paul Walker's actual car. But it's not. It's actually the technical advisor Craig Lieberman's car. And it was repainted for this movie specifically, so it was his personal vehicle
Wow.
that they used and then repainted it for the film. It is true, however, though, that Walker had a love for street racing but did not personally handpick all the racing cars that were shown in the movie. And the vehicles were first picked by Universal, and then some final decisions were made by the technical advisor Craig Lieberman and other advisors as well. The Mitsubishi vehicles used prominently in the film were originally going to be Dodge Neon SRT4s before Lieberman stepped in and made them all tuners. Yeah.
Imagine Aunt Julie's car racing.
Dodge Neons.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's what they were gonna do instead of the.
Those they had to have tricked him out because that car looks like.
Well, no, that's why an SRT
An
4
SRT4 is a way
is
bigger
it like
engine.
has the almost like the engine of like Challengers, I think, of that time. I
Okay.
think.
Have you seen Dodge Neons?
Yes, they're awful looking.
They look like little
Little pills.
Yeah.
Like,
They don't look like racing cars at all.
no.
That's insane. They were gonna be Dodge Neons.
Yeah, and then Lieberman
You gotta
stepped
add-
in and really rallied.
That's
for
what they were gonna do it
Mitsubishi.
as.
No, dude.
Let me see. Flip it
Well,
around.
maybe. I mean, maybe like the.
Yeah, they could have made it work. That's a very 2000s car right there.
100%
That's
it
a
is.
very 2000s
Dude, like the
car.
Ford Focuses, like the old Ford Focuses.
Yeah,
It was.
I don't know.
yeah. But yeah, another one here actually in regards to the racing aspect of the film. When Brian wins that first race and he power slides into the crowd, Paul Walker actually performed that stunt himself, among many others in the film and the original. Paul Walker also did a couple of stunts in the film, the original film as well.
Nice.
And he only did this because he's not only a big, huge street racing fan, but also was apparently a really good driver and, decided that he could do all the stunts himself.
Pretty cool. I did not know that.
Yeah.
One that I thought that was pretty cool was the complex used for Verone Mansion was owned formerly by Sylvester Stallone.
Pretty cool.
Do you think the name Verone Stallone, they did a different variation of it?
Oh, maybe to be like to
No.
nod to it.
Maybe? I don't know.
Around stuff.
Verone
Maybe it's a reach.
Stallone.
I don't know.
It's
Just a
true.
thought.
True in
But
my
n-
book.
Yeah. Another one here. You guys had mentioned
Vin Diesel.
why Vin Diesel's not in this. And he had a specific thing as to why he didn't want to be in the sequel, because this sequel specifically didn't follow like the original narrative of the first one, and it just didn't make sense for him to be in it. So he rejected like a $25 million offer, I think.
That's wild.
But Universal Studios even went as far as to create 2 different scripts. And they created the first script with Vin Diesel's character in it and the second one without him. And then ultimately, whenever he decided he wasn't going to return, they just went with the second one instead.
Wow.
Yeah.
They knew it. They knew they were gonna piss him off.
Yeah.
That is pretty wild.
Any other facts here?
Something. No. It's not that.
Okay. The last one I have here, which was a mind blower for me, was 50 Cent was originally considered for the part of Tyrese's character Rome, but Tyrese Gibson ultimately stepped in and took over it.
Wow.
And I think it kind of did him better, right? Because Tyrese is still in these movies.
Yeah, he is.
Am I mistaken?
No,
if I'm saying that?
I think he is. From the last time I saw him, he was in it. I think that's 9.
So imagine if Tyrese didn't do it, and that was 50 Cent still in all of these movies.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
That would have been wild.
That would have
right?
been very wild. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
in 9. I'm
Okay.
looking here.
All right. Is that it for the facts?
Me, yes.
Okay. What about you, Abe? Is that all?
That's it for me.
All right. Well, if that's it for the facts, let's move into what didn't work.
There's a lot here, man.
There's
Okay.
quite a bit.
I think we can immediately start with just the plot, the story.
Yeah.
I think it's incredibly thin.
Yep.
And
There is no
Underdeveloped.
story. It's very, to me, there is almost no story.
yeah.
Yeah. It's basically like half of what the first one is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like the first one, in its story wise, is so much more compelling, and makes me want to revisit more just because of the actual aspect of the story.
Mhm.
When this one comes around, like it's definitely more of a spectacle. That's for sure. Like they definitely go bigger with the stunts and the cars and the way things look and all this stuff and the the music and all that. But when it does come to the narrative, which is like the most important part of the film, it kind of does pale in comparison to the first one.
Yeah.
So I kind of agree with you guys there.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some parts that I could just pass without even like watching it. Like, so I did lose interest at some parts.
Okay. So like the movie gets slow.
Yeah.
Like name a couple. What areas?
A part for me that got really slow is the rat scene. I can care less about the rat scene.
Okay.
When they're driving to the audition,
Okay.
I thought that whole sequence was a little
When
bit
he's
slow.
like flipping it in reverse on the
Yeah,
freeway
like-
and all that stuff.
Like, I don't need to see all that.
Yeah.
And then the car chase going to the scramble.
Oh, okay. So the way they actually get there and all that stuff.
Yeah, like, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Another one for me. Acting is just not that great here.
They're very like stiff and
Yeah.
wooden.
Yeah, like even like side characters like that guy Bilkins. Like he delivered a couple of lines where he was just like it felt like so forced, or like even the bodyguards where like they like do all these maneuvers and stuff while they're on the way to the final job. And like I'm thinking of that guy, the bald guy. He like the way he overreacts whenever Paul Walker's doing some crazy stuff. He like looks at him and just goes, "You're gonna get us killed." Like it just has no soul in it whatsoever, and it's just like, oh, this is how I'm supposed to be angry. I got to raise my voice.
Right.
It's not like I'm actually angry at you or scared.
Like, oh, I'm acting right now.
Yeah, it felt that way.
Yeah, a lot of the scenes with Paul Walker, for me at least, felt that way too.
Yeah.
I just didn't buy him. I didn't
Yeah.
buy his acting here.
Yeah, or like even like so like when they're like ripping through that little town and like going in and out of the two lanes.
Mm-hmm.
One of the guys says like, "You're a good driver, man." And he just goes, "Thanks, bro." Like like just like the most like lifeless way to deliver the line or something.
Yes.
Like I would think if someone gave you that compliment and like you're like in the thrill of like dodging and weaving between cars and stuff, you may have some sort of like smile on your face.
Yeah,
And be
it's
like,
just
or like give you a chuckle and be like, "Hey, thanks, dude," or something like that.
Yeah.
Not just being like, "Thanks, bro."
I don't know.
Yeah.
Not very convincing. I think the action also I was a little bored with, because it's literally just them, and then like the only action you really get is like shifting,
Yeah.
nitro shifting. You know what I mean? Just like
Yeah. And then the camera being like,
There's so many
Just-
bad camera angles here.
I'm not sure. It really did not hold my attention very well.
Mm.
I was sitting there like, I don't know. I'm not a car guy either, so that didn't really help either.
in regards to it not holding your attention, Verone is such an unintimidating villain.
Yeah.
No, he
Like
sucks.
I feel I could whoop his butt, dude. Like like he just doesn't scare me.
No.
Like he should be more intimidating than he is.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of comes down to the writing in that aspect.
The
where,
writing
like,
is trash.
it shouldn't. He should be more scary. Like I should be afraid of this man.
Intimidated.
Like if he's like this drug lord, like he should have some like real, like palpable power,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't see it, like, other than like the rat scene. And even then, that's like not like the craziest scare tactic.
And it
you
doesn't
know?
even work.
No.
The guy still does it.
Yeah.
Right or wrong? Like,
yeah.
isn't
Yeah.
that the whole thing? Like, because he was looking at his pictures, and then he goes, "All units go in."
Yeah.
And that's what kind of destroys the plan, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't even work anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think just the writing all around is not good.
Yeah.
It doesn't really help the characters develop in any meaningful ways.
Yeah.
It like really rushes a lot too. Like,
Mhm.
I did not like the whole like, is she falling for this guy? I didn't like that whole plot line. It wasn't really like heavily talked about, but it was like there were scenes where
They
Rome
just like share looks.
or Rome was like, I can't trust her, man. She's sleeping with the guy. We can't trust her.
Yeah.
And I didn't like any of that. I did not like the romance between her and Brian.
Yeah, it
Didn't-
does
There was
feel
no point for it.
it feels forced too.
Yeah.
Like it just feels like, well, he's got to get the girl.
Doesn't make sense. to
You
me.
know, it just doesn't make sense for the actual film.
Yeah.
Also, CGI. I
Doo-doo.
mentioned looks like PlayStation 2 cutscenes.
It's awful.
They're terrible looking, dude. Like I'm thinking of the whole like credits.
The credits is
That's the way the CGI looks like. Actually,
It does.
is like it looks like very cartoonish.
Zero detail.
Yeah, yeah.
Dang.
It's awful.
It's
It's
tough.
aged poorly for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else for what doesn't work?
It's like everything, man.
Yeah, it's almost like everything.
Okay. All right.
Subpar.
All right. What does work then?
I love all like the scenes with all the cars.
Okay.
So
the
Car-
spectacle
car
of it.
buff.
Yeah.
yeah.
I have to say I enjoy Brian and Rome's chemistry
There you
with
go.
one another.
That is something I can agree with.
I really enjoy their bromance,
Mhm.
for lack of a better term. Like
yeah, I feel like they're brothers.
like they for real feel like brothers on screen. They talk like it. They feel like their friendship is so genuine.
Mhm.
And I really just liked watching this movie just to see them interact and like have fun with one another.
Yeah, I'd agree. They're the funniest characters on
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah.
They're the keeping my attention.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Anything else for what does work?
No.
Not really, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, if that's it, who wins the movie?
I'll go first, and I put Tyrese Gibson.
Same here.
Yeah, same here. He absolutely kills it here.
He's the one holding this movie up on his shoulders. He's Atlas in this scenario. He's holding everything up.
That's a fantastic way to look at his character, dude.
Yeah.
He kills it in this movie.
He's the only reason why I'd ever return.
Yeah. Same. Any themes here for
No.
Too Fast Too Furious? Like even like family doesn't really tie into Too Fast Too Furious because it's
No.
not like it's not a theme here.
Not really.
It's kind of just like almost like a buddy cop film, you know?
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you. Like, even if you're trying to dig deep into it, like
There's nothing like to.
I
like,
couldn't even
really
pull out
say.
like a stupid like, I did like the last movie. I was like, oh really? Just allude to that. I can't even think of anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look up what Google says.
If you ain't first, you're last. There you go.
True.
I couldn't tell you. I don't got anything for themes, so
I don't know.
I think this is just pure entertainment.
Honestly,
Like,
it's just act a fool.
Act a fool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wild and out.
That's what it says right here. I looked up Too Fast Too Furious, Ludacris, act a fool.
Oh, his song.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, this is a pure entertainment one. So if you're wanting something that is just gonna, you don't have to think too deeply about, just put it on and just enjoy the spectacle of everything. This is it for you.
Yeah.
you know? All right. What are we rating this?
I gave the first film a 6. I think this is worse, a 5.
I think I'll agree with you and saying it's a 5.
A 5. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
I
middle
gave-
of the road.
I gave the Fast and Furious a 7. I gave this one a 5.
5.
Okay.
Okay. Fair. Yeah, just average. Completely totally
Yeah.
meh movies. It's
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
One of my favorites.
That's
but
it.
some of the times it happens, man. But that's okay. So yeah, that's the end of the episode. You guys, if you stuck all the way to the end, we appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
If you did, and you're watching on YouTube or listening on the audio platforms, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google, Leave us a rate and review on those platforms, or like and comment the YouTube videos. Subscribe to the channel as well and hit the bell notification so you're notified when we upload. It helps us out, and it also keeps you guys in the loop for when those episodes are coming out.
Mhm.
And it also allows you guys a platform to voice your concerns, voice your criticisms, and also the things that you're loving about the podcast. Stuff like that. You know, it helps us grow. And also, you know, we just like to hear what you guys are saying as well,
Mhm.
and what you guys think about the episodes. So, yeah, use those platforms for your means. And then if you don't want to post on such a public platform, you can reach us in a more private way on our Instagrams, Letterboxd, or email in our episode descriptions, and you can find those links there. But as always, we're going to reveal the next pick for next week, which is my pick.
What do you got?
We're going to be doing... I've been wanting to watch some Tarantino. And I think the last Tarantino film that we did was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yes, I think
Yes,
so.
I
That was
think
quite
so.
a while ago.
So we are going to be throwing it back to his first film, which I'm excited about. It's called Reservoir Dogs.
Ooh.
And I think it came out in 1992, if I'm not mistaken. It is currently streaming on Netflix, and it's awesome. I'm excited to dive back into it because it sort of turns into like a little bit of a whodunit crime thriller type thing. You don't know who you can trust. A Mexican standoff type situation, you know? Like, and I think it's tons of fun, and I don't know if you guys have seen it before.
No, I've never seen it before.
Never. I watched it with you in your room. I sat on the floor and watched the whole thing.
Okay.
You were the first one to show it because you had talked a lot about it, and I don't think it's a very long movie either.
No, it's I think about an hour 40.
Yeah. So I remember watching it with you there, and
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
All right.
So I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I like this movie. I have tons of fun with it, and I'm excited to dive back in because I enjoy me some Tarantino. So tune back in next week to hear what we have to say about Reservoir Dogs. As always, this has been the Film Bros Podcast. Thank you, and good night.
Good night.
Good night.